Hey, church family, Pastor Garin here. I hope this message finds you well. I was thinking, each of us comes from a different faith tradition, and some of us grew up here at First Baptist Church, and this is kind of the only tradition we've ever known. Some of us grew up in different places. I grew up in Virginia myself. Rachel, as many of you know, grew up in Texas. Some of you grew up in small churches, big churches, guitar playing churches, organ playing churches. Some of you grew up where they didn't play any music at all. But we all have our different traditions. I grew up with a lot of those hymns that kind of, when you think of traditional hymns, you sing the hymns, the old rugged cross and amazing grace, and those kinds of, some of my favorites are Come Thou Fountain, that thing, those kinds. I love those kinds. I will admit that when I came here to First Baptist Church with Tony and Diane leading our music, I've sung some of those songs, which I still love, but I've learned some new songs, which I also appreciate. One of the songs that I really like that we sing here at First Baptist is a song called In the Bulb There Is a Flower. Now, we sing it a lot, actually at funerals. That's where I've sung it the most, but we sing it in worship sometimes too. And actually, we're going to sing it this coming Sunday. I want to share with you the last verse of In the Bulb There Is a Flower. Listen to this. This is so good. In our end is our beginning, in our time infinity. In our doubt there is believing, in our life eternity. In our death a resurrection, at the last a victory. Unrevealed until its season, something God alone can see. Isn't that good? I admit to you, this is the most singing you're ever going to get from me, but I love this last line, unrevealed until its season, something God alone can see. I love that melody there. We're going to sing it this Sunday, but one of the reasons I really like this song is because it talks about what's happening behind the scenes. And that's what happens in the resurrection, isn't it? That God is doing something after the crucifixion looks so bleak and so dark, that there's something that's happening behind the scenes, that God is doing something that only God can see. We're still in this season of the year, Easter. We celebrate Lent and we come to the day that is Easter, but Easter is not just a day, it's a season. In fact, you can still see the white behind me back there, and I love these banners you can see back here. We've had these up for worship the last couple weeks. One of them says risen indeed, and the other one says we are a new creation. In fact, the first line of In the Bulb There Is a Flower talks about butterflies, so that's a good one, and so you'll have to look out for that this coming Sunday. But as we come to worship this Sunday, I just want to invite you to join us in all the ways that you always do, but particularly this Sunday, I want to invite you to sing along with us. The music that we have, those songs that we grew up with, those songs that we hear, they're wonderful, and they bring us back and they ground us in a way that it's hard to describe, isn't it? They take us to a place that is beyond where we are, and gosh, that's what we need right now. And they communicate to us the theology of our lives. And In the Bulb There Is a Flower is a perfect example of just good theology, that God is doing something behind the scenes. We're going to remember not only the resurrection this Sunday, but we are going to talk about legacy. We're going to continue that conversation. And in the midst of our conversation about legacy, we're also going to share communion together. So, just as we did just before Easter, I want to invite you to get your elements together this coming Sunday. Whatever you have it in front of you. So as you watch on television or online, that you can participate with us. Bread, crackers, whatever works for that, juice, wine, water, whatever you have, and we'll share that together. I'll give you instructions as to when we do that on Sunday, but I really hope that you'll be able to join us this week. And in particular, when we come to In the Bulb There Is a Flower, and you hear that there's something that God alone can see, just remember that God is doing something in the world that we may not even know. I was talking to Jane Hall the other day, and we were just talking with hope about what it is that's happening in the world. Not that we would wish it to happen, but that there's good that is coming out of it, that God is doing something amazing in all that is befallen us. And we hope in that, and we trust in that, because we hope in God, we trust in Jesus, and we know that the Spirit of God, we have the fellowship of the Spirit to go with us out into the world as we seek to embody the mystery of the grace of Jesus and proclaim the love of God. So thank you all for giving me a little time today to share with you, and I hope that you'll be with us. Join us on Sunday as we worship together. Have a wonderful day. God bless.